For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say,
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Scott Atwood.
And I'm Michelle Atwood, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
And this is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 146 from May 27th, 2024.
Hello.
Hello. Actually, we're not recording this on May 27th, so I just want to put that out there in case we say something wrong.
Yeah, the magic of podcasting. I guess I was going to say magic at Disney, but we're not at Disney.
No, we're not at Disney, but we're actually recording this on the 26th because we have plans on the 27th, so we wanted to get this done today.
Yeah, so we wanted to make time for you this week, even though it was technically kind of a day off for everyone, but, you know, we don't take days off.
But it will be our day off since we're not doing this tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I'll probably still work from home a little bit before we go.
Right.
I'm gonna try not to.
So hope you all are doing well. It's been another hot week here in Florida.
Oh my gosh, it is so miserable outside.
So we were just driving back to the house. We had to run out for a few things, and we're driving. And it was almost 5 o'clock, and our temperature gauge on our truck said it was 100 degrees at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, at 5 o'clock, 100 degrees. That's crazy.
And that's not including the heat index, so it's probably way over that. I mean, it is hot, and it's just the grass is dying. Even though we're getting these little cloud bursts of rain here and there every couple days, still everything's the grass isn't surviving. The heat is horrible.
The heat is really bad. Yeah, we haven't even gone outside all that much this week because it's been so hot.
It is so hot, and I'm so glad we got our air conditioner fixed a few weeks, probably 2 months ago or whatever. When
that's right. Our air did break, didn't it?
But it's not now.
No.
I'm glad it got fixed before all this hit because I can't imagine how hot it would be.
I can't either. So.
Great. So that was, we started our adventures in Florida living, I guess, talking about how hot it's been here in Florida.
Yeah, you went right out of the gate.
I did, but it's just warm.
Scott's very hot this week, if you can't tell.
Oh my gosh, I just need to have like a water bottle to spritz myself all day.
Spritz yourself.
Just
all
something
day.
Because it is just.
Here, I'll squirt you all day. I think that would be fun.
It is hot. It is just crazy hot. So, but we're making the best of it. Like Michelle said, we really haven't gone anywhere. Parks have not been that busy when I've checked wait times and such this last week.
No, because it's hellfire out there.
Nobody wants to go out in that.
Nobody wants to go out.
Even Hades said, "I'm out of here. It's too hot. I'm going somewhere else. It's too hot here." So if you are here though in Florida, or if you're coming to Florida, just be prepared for the heat.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Try to stay cool as much as you can. Drink lots of water.
Oh yeah, because in this weather is dangerous. So anyway, let's quit talking about the weather. What else you got?
Okay, well, next would be, we actually, like Michelle said, we didn't do much last week, but on Friday we did head over to the Springs we're going to talk about what we were there for a little bit later, but we went to D-Lux Burger for dinner that night. We went with Greg and Holly and their daughter Rory. We haven't been there since, I think since it really, we went once when it first opened. I don't think we've been back there since then.
No, and when it first opened, it kind of gave me a stomach ache because it was really greasy, but now I don't eat beef anymore, right. So I had the Impossible cheeseburger, which was not bad.
No, I had the buffalo chicken, fried chicken sandwich. It was okay. It was kind of small though.
I was gonna say, considering it looked tiny.
It was like a little bit bigger than a slider. So instead of 2 bites, it was probably like 3.5, 4 bites. I mean, it was good. I just wish there would have been more of it. For what it costs.
Yeah, it wasn't a Scott-sized meal by far.
It was not. But the side items, so one of us got onion rings, one of us got French fries. They were both fantastic.
Oh my gosh, I seriously would go there just for fries and onion rings.
In a heartbeat. And then Rory had the shake, and the shake looked really good
too.
She
had an Oreo shake. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, I can't drink the shakes because of lactose issues. But
I can.
You can, so you could have that.
Shouldn't, though. Oh, and actually, it's a gelato.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So that's even more calories.
Oh, give me 2.
Give me 2. I've been like, so because we've been home a bit and, you know, whatever else, I've been like eating more than I should. So I'm really glad I did not get that shake. But I was tempted.
You were tempted. So maybe next time.
I love ice cream. I can't help it.
I think it's a healthy meal to go there and get gelato shake or order onion rings or order French fries.
Yeah, why
I don't
not?
see a problem with all that.
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, if you want to, you know, gain 5 pounds.
Why not? Well, what else? You could sweat it off here pretty easily.
No, you want to hear some BS about that?
Oh boy, here we go.
So I got up the next day and I weighed myself and I went up 2 pounds overnight. What kind of garbage is that?
Those
So
onion rings.
maybe I don't recommend you eat at D-Lux Burger because I didn't even finish my full sandwich. I only had like half fries and a couple onion rings. So I was horrified and been in a bad mood ever since.
But it was late in the evening when we ate.
Still.
So it was kind of late to eat dinner.
That's
I mean, it was
a bunch of crap.
after 7, almost 8 o'clock, I think, when we ate.
Still. I'm still bitter, if you can tell.
And they were packed. But the Springs was packed because it being a holiday weekend,
Yeah.
Memorial Day this weekend, the Springs was really packed. And we were there for the event that night, which we're going to talk about when we get done to Disney news. But it was a Disney Dreams That Soar debuted, that the drone show, which we will get to here in a little bit. But the Springs was packed.
It really, really was. And it's probably going to be that way for a while, I would say.
I would say so. So when we got there, we had already decided we were going to try to park surface parking just because we wanted to be on the west side because that's where we were told to view the show from. But the garage was full. Orange was full. I'm assuming lime was full.
Lime usually gets full faster because
Yeah.
it's by the shopping.
Right. And Orange said it was full. There was people trying to pull in there, but I mean.
But even when we got to surface parking, you know, we park over by Cirque du Soleil and it was even filling up. I mean, we got one of the last spots in the back of the lot.
Yeah, we were in the back row.
And I don't know, it was, because Drawn to Life is on Fridays and Saturdays.
And there was a show for that. And there was a show at House of Blues that night.
Oh, my gosh. No wonder it was a madhouse.
It was.
Seriously. It was very people-y out there.
Very people-y. So if you don't like people, that wasn't supposed to be.
If you're not a people person, don't go to Disney Springs.
No, it was crazy busy.
Yeah, and I anticipate now, like we were talking earlier this week about, you know, oh, my God, I can't talk. Let me try again. Rewind. Sorry. School's being out now and how it's going to be crazy time down here until like September.
Come on, September.
And actually, you know, we've talked about this before too. There really isn't any downtimes. I think we just talked about that last week.
did.
So, but now we're starting to notice, like, and even in our neighborhood, that there's like, you know, kids everywhere. So it's kind of like game on now.
That is one thing we did the other day. We did go to our pool here where we live, and there was a lot of kids there that were younger kids who normally would have been in school. But
Yeah, it was mostly
out.
teenagers, a couple adults, but mostly teenagers and us.
Yeah. So needless to say, we didn't stay down there that long.
No. Plus, it was hot. Did we mention it's hot down here?
It's a little warm.
So yeah.
So D-Lux is great for the sides. Some people do love the burgers. I know Greg had one. He said it was okay. He didn't rave.
There's
about
a
it.
couple of specialty burgers they have there that people rave about.
Yeah.
There's one in particular that I've seen Facebook friends talk about. Now, do I remember what it is? No.
No.
Because I don't eat beef, so it's. But you know what I would have changed. So
You tell us. What are you going to change?
This is what I would have changed. So I like the Impossible Burgers, but I'm not vegan.
Right.
So they put like vegan cheese and stuff on
That's
there.
right. It had plant-based Gouda.
Yeah,
I think,
bleh.
on it.
No, I want cheddar.
Right. Yeah, you don't have a problem with the cheese.
No.
The dairy part of the
No.
cheese. You just don't want the beef from the cow.
Right, but I can't give up dairy. I mean, are you kidding me? I just said a little bit ago I love ice cream.
Right.
I love a good cheeseburger, just not a beef burger.
Not beef.
But yeah, so you don't have the option to switch that around on the app. We mobile ordered. So maybe next time we could go in there and try again. I mean, I'm not opposed. I just have to have it early in the day so I don't gain 2 pounds again.
Yeah, I'd be curious because I didn't get a burger either because I don't eat a lot of beef either, rarely. But I'd be curious to try a burger next time we go.
I should have had a bite of your chicken sandwich because I do love a good chicken
There
sandwich.
was only 3.5 bites. You wanna take one of my bites away from me?
No, that's why I didn't ask you because I knew it was small and I wasn't going to take
It
your
was
food
so
from
small. I
you.
felt like I went to White Castle.
Oh my God. But the fries were fantastic.
Fries were good. Onion rings were really
Onion
good.
rings were greasy but good.
And they had buffalo ranch dip that you could get.
Yeah, you can get all kinds of dipping sauces
they had
over
like
there.
6 different ones. I only brought 3 of them, but they had 6 different.
See, I
sauces
love to dip.
on top of ketchup, mustard, mayo.
Yeah, we should have got all the dips.
They were like a garlic aioli, and I can't remember what the other ones were.
Yeah, the one tasted like it needed to be on garlic bread.
That was their 1921 sauce, I think is what it was called.
What does that even mean?
It has to be the year that maybe the owner created. I don't
It tasted Italian to me, and I ought to know.
Had a lot of garlic in it.
Yeah.
A lot of garlic in it. So if you want to keep vampires away, the garlic or the 1921
slap it on
sauce,
yourself.
Just slap it on. They will run the other way.
Yeah, but yeah, all in all, it wasn't bad. I would give it another try, but yeah, I could really. I'm hungry. I could go for those fries right now.
We go there for lunch one day, maybe.
Maybe.
So the other thing we did this week was on Saturday the 25th was Aidan's birthday.
Yes, our younger son's birthday.
So during the day he wanted to go with his friends to the Winter Garden Farmers Market and the shops down there and such. So he did that during the day, and then in the evening he wanted to go to Epcot because he wanted to go to his stores. He wanted to shop at the Japanese store he loves. He went to the China store, and then he also wanted to eat 9 Dragons for dinner.
Now we haven't had 9 Dragons in 9 years.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Wow.
And I never, excuse me, I never think about going there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, okay, you know what? I'm having a flashback moment.
Well, here we go. Sidebar.
I remember 9 years ago when we did go, it was $18 for a meal.
Oh, wow. So it did go up.
And now they were $23.
So it went up $5. So that's roughly 20.
Don't math me. I don't know that.
Percentage-wise, you're looking at about a 30% increase.
That's crap. But yeah, so it wasn't busy.
No, it wasn't busy at all. Actually, there was hardly anybody in there, to be honest. I mean, there was a lot of empty tables.
Yeah, and it was really hot, and then it rained really hard for a little bit, so it kind of cleared out a little bit.
It took us 45 minutes to get from Canada over to the China. To Japan first, because he wanted to go shopping, and then from Japan to China. It took us almost 45 minutes because we kept stopping and going undercover for the rain to pass.
I kid you not, and I'm not even being dramatic. I know, shocker, but I'm not. So every time we stopped under an umbrella and the rain let up, as soon as we started walking again. Every time. And then we were standing in Morocco under like where they do the henna tattoos, and I said, okay, it stopped raining. We can make it to Japan. And I looked, and there was no cover from where we were standing there, and I said, how much you want to bet it's going to start pouring as soon as we start walking? And lo and behold, it did just that. And there were those big, fat raindrops that makes you feel like you got a bucket of water on your head and it runs down your scalp.
I kept wearing a bird dum-tummy.
It feels gross. Those big raindrops feel gross. And some people were walking around, you guys, like they just jumped in a pool and decided to go to Epcot.
Yeah, it's like they didn't even seek cover when it just started.
I mean, we're talking full wet hair, wet clothes, wet shoes. One lady even took her shoes off. I mean, was walking in the puddles.
It's like they went on Cali River Rapids.
Yeah.
And just decided to walk around.
See, and that's something we don't go on because I don't like being drenched.
No, I hate that feeling of getting soaking wet like that and then walking around. Like whenever we've gone to Universal, we always talk about we want to do the water rides there, but we don't want to be soaking wet for the whole day.
No, and you get soaked at Universal.
You do. Between the Jurassic Park ride and then the I don't know what the other one is. The
cartoony looking one.
Yeah, in the comic strip area.
Yeah.
That area.
It's fun to watch other people get soaked.
It is. And then there's Pluto's Barge over there, too.
See, and we never walk over there.
No, we've never gone over to see that one. One day we're going to wear our bathing suits. We're going to go do their 3 water rides.
Yeah. No, so when you go on a water ride, do you ever feel like sticky and gross afterwards?
Always.
Not just because like your clothes are wet, but the water always feels yucky to me, and I'm such a germaphobe. Like I feel like I need to go and give myself like a bath in the sink. So
you meant, and I know this is a huge sidebar because we were talking about 9 Dragons and we got to water park somehow.
Yeah, how did this happen?
Rain with.
Okay, we're gonna go back to food in a second.
We'll be back to food in a second. So Michelle and I both grew up in southeastern Michigan, as you guys should know from hearing us over the years. And our summer spot that we'd go to was Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. That was the theme park we always went to. So they have a couple of water rides there. And when we were kids, the big one was Thunder Canyon.
I forgot about that.
And the water was actually taken directly out of Lake Erie and put into the ride. So when you rode Thunder Canyon, and I don't know if it's still, I would assume it's still the same way today, but and they also had a log ride, like a log flume ride you did. But the water was, they actually pulled the water in from Lake Erie, and that's the water that you were in.
Ew.
And you smelt like Lake Erie.
Ew.
And I remember as a kid going there, I went there with scouts when I was like 12 or 13 years old. And we all went on the ride. We all got drenched. We were soaked. We all stunk. And we were sleeping in tents because we were camping.
Ew, and then you smell like swamp after going on.
We did.
Ew.
But I think every one of us bought the towel at the end of the thing because we were just drenched. Because it was before they had those family dryers, the big.
Which don't work. It's like $5-10, and you're going to stand in like this is big dryer, and it doesn't work because we did it before.
The sun works better.
Sun
honestly.
works better, or just bring a change of clothes.
The worst part is your shoes, to me.
Yeah.
Getting my shoes soaking
Ew.
wet is just horrible because I can't wear flip-flops, obviously. You tell me all the time my feet are too big.
He doesn't know how to walk in flip-flops is what the
can't.
problem is. He's got these big hooves, and he cannot walk in flip-flops. It's impossible.
Size 15, okay? It's not my fault.
Hooves. I'm still laughing about Lake Erie. That's so gross.
Did you forget about that?
I forgot.
Because it was crazy because the water always had that dead fish smell.
Ew.
And if you're familiar with the Great Lakes at all,
Ew.
they all do have like a little bit of an odor. Just saying. And a lot of the metro parks up there, you see a lot of dead fish on the beach.
Okay, that's enough.
It's really bad. And I'm not trying to paint it bad. Like, this is where we grew up with, and that's what we were used to. But it wasn't fun to go to those
Michigan
things.
is the Great Lakes state.
It is. The lakes are great. Just don't get in them and don't go by the beaches.
No.
And you'll be fine.
No, up north they're nicer.
Yeah,
and
if you
colder.
go up north. Well, if you go to like the inland lakes and stuff like that, not the 7 Great Lakes that are the big areas.
Well, I think, what is it, Lake Superior? That's cold but a lot clearer.
Michigan is too.
Yeah.
Superior and Michigan are
Not Lake Erie. Don't go to Lake Erie.
it's a little stinky.
Anyway.
But it's right on Cedar Point, so that's where. But back to Nine Dragons.
All right.
So we're gonna take you guys all the way back to Nine
Oh
Dragons.
my gosh, I'm starting to get whiplash. We keep swirling around.
China and Epcot. So we finally get there. We're not that wet. A little bit. We got wet, but not bad. So we get to
No.
Nine Dragons. We had a 6:45 reservation. We got there 15 minutes before, and they sat us right down.
Right away, yeah.
It was no wait, because like Michelle said, it was not busy.
Mm-mm.
Waiter was fantastic. Took our drink order instantly. Michelle ordered spring rolls. Is that what you ordered?
Yeah, okay, here's my complaint. I have 2.
Okay.
All right? Complaint number 1. It was Aidan's birthday, and he had a birthday button on. And dude did not even say happy birthday to my child. Okay, that bothered me. And so the lady at the desk did. But Sue, do you remember back in the day, sidebar, when you could walk around with a birthday button and everybody and their mother
Every
would be like,
cast
happy
member.
birthday, happy
Yep.
birthday. He got like maybe 3 in the
Yeah.
whole park.
And one was the lady at Nine
sad.
Dragons, and one was the lady on the way out that was saying goodbye as we were leaving the park.
Yes, I felt so bad for him. I went get him a birthday button right away because I was trying to make his day special, and like hardly anybody said happy birthday, which I think is terrible.
Yeah, it used to be every cast member would say happy birthday.
Even
as long as they saw it.
Even all right, I'm gonna get a little pissy about this too, because even the photo pass girl, she took our
That's
picture.
right, I
She
forgot
did
about
not
that.
even say happy. And the poor kid is standing there smiling like it's my birthday.
Well, she
and
cut me half off in the pictures.
she was a
too.
terrible photographer. She cut half your body off. But yeah, she didn't even say happy birthday.
My
Okay.
hooves were too big. She couldn't get me in the screen.
So yeah, that's very sad.
And he wasn't offered any kind of dessert or anything. For it.
Nothing!
Usually they'll say we have a birthday sundae or birthday cupcake or
Yes,
something.
they
And I know they have ice cream because it was on the menu.
Yeah, I really, really think that there is something lacking. And I've heard this before online that people don't seem to give a crap anymore. And I believe that's pretty evident. But anyway, so that was that annoyed me terribly because that's my child and I'm a mama bear. And it's like, wish the kid a happy birthday.
I know you shouldn't have beat the guy up though. That was kind of I mean, I couldn't believe she bounced the egg roll or a spring roll right off his
That's
head.
my second complaint.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so they have, so when you go to a Chinese restaurant, usually like ours back home, you get like an egg roll, you get soup, you get, a whole
Your meal.
variety. Yeah.
Which is usually 2 meals.
Yeah, and then you always have stuff to take home. Well, over at Epcot, you get a little thing of rice and some chicken, and that's it. So I saw they had spring rolls on the menu for $6, and then when he brought, because I'm like, I'll just cut them up and split them.
And he kept saying, he goes, "There's only two,
Yeah,
for $6."
he didn't tell me they were the size of a pizza roll. They were so small. He put it on the table, and all of us just looked at each other. I'm not kidding. They were like 2 inches long.
They were almost too
$6.
small to even cut.
They were.
Yeah, honestly.
They were like bite size, and 2 of them for $6.
But that's how they get you because, I mean, like you said, a dinner was $23, and all of us got the cheapest dinner. Not because we wanted, that's just what the chicken dinners were.
Because we're picky people.
Because we all eat chicken at those places usually. But it was $23. You got like a cup full of rice.
It was only like one scoop of rice.
One scoop of rice, and then there was probably 8 to maybe 10 pieces of chicken.
Yeah, you ate all your chicken, but the boys and I took ours home, so we had it for lunch. But
I'll be honest, if I had my choice, I would not go back to Nine Dragons again. I would rather go to the Chinese restaurant that we used to eat by our old house. That was over.
Yeah, there's a good Chinese takeout place across town where we used to live.
By the Loop area.
Yeah, and it's better.
It was, and we could go there, and it'd be like $45 for all of us, and we'd have a dinner each of us, and we'd have leftovers for the next day for sure.
But it's a novelty because
it is a novelty.
Epcot.
But it's not a character dining. I mean, it's not like Mulan's walking around there.
No, that would be cool.
Well, that's how they should do it. If you're gonna try, first off, chicken and rice are cheap to make, but you got to consider Disney charges $15 for chicken nuggets and French fries, which is all deep fried foods that doesn't take any talent to do. You drop them,
you just put them in the fryer.
Right. So, granted, they have to put the sauce and such on Chinese food, but they're very fast. Quickly.
Oh, yeah. Like, we were in and out of there so quickly.
We actually were out of there 23 minutes after our reservation was supposed to be for. But I had said something because the boys were like, wow, that was really quick. But if you really think about it, so in our case, we all got chicken.
It was the same chicken with different sauce.
Same chicken. Michelle and Aidan got the honey sauce. Me and Andrew got the spicy hot sauce on ours. But essentially, it was the same chicken, just different sauces. They had a kung pao, which was chicken and shrimp, which I really wanted, but I'm allergic to shrimp, so I didn't even try it.
Not the best idea.
Not the best idea. And then they had a kung pao, Canton kung pao, I take that back, Canton beef dinner also. And those were all like in the $25 range.
Yeah, it was expensive. Now, normally Chinese food is a cheap night out. This was not a cheap night out.
No.
And in today's economy, we want to be really honest as far as like what's worth your money and what's not. Right. I mean, the food was delicious. I just think it was overpriced.
It was good. I wish there would have been more of it. That's the only thing I ever had. We probably could have got the same servings at the walk-up next door.
Mm-hmm. For cheaper.
For a lot cheaper. But we wouldn't get to use our discount. So we did get to use our annual pass discount. But I'll be honest. So each one of us got a meal, and we each got a soda drink and our discount and the spring rolls, and it was over $100.
Oh my God, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, it was over $100 for those things. And then tip on top.
That's a huge ripoff.
On top of that, add tip. Yeah, we could have went to the other restaurant 3 times for what it cost to go there.
Yeah, good
for
thing
one
we had
dinner.
a charge card.
So I mean, I know a lot of people like Nine Dragons. The food is good. I'm not gonna say it's not good. It's just it seems expensive to me for what you get.
True.
I wish you got a little bit more. You got 3 broccoli florets also. I forgot.
That weren't even cooked. They were hard.
And there was only 3 on each plate.
Okay, we're going to stop crabbing about it now. But yeah, I mean, good food, overpriced. And no happy birthdays anywhere.
No happy. And no, like, here's a birthday Sunday. Here's the staff didn't come over and sing. They didn't sing to anybody while we're sitting there. And
Maybe
I don't know
they
if
just don't do that.
I don't know if that's a China thing that they just don't do that.
But I always thought that, that when you see a birthday button, they at least say something because the lady at the hostess stand.
Right. The hostess stand did say happy birthday to him. So I'm just surprised the waiter never said anything. And it was visible the whole time. You could see it on him the whole time he sat there. So it wasn't like they could barely see it or whatever. So I don't get it.
Yeah. That's disappointing. I felt so bad for him yesterday because, like, I always try to make the kids' birthdays extra special. And when you try to do just little things to try to make it even better, he seemed a little disappointed, and I was disappointed. But
and it's rare that the boys even want to go to Epcot or go to a Disney for their birthdays nowadays. Usually they don't want to go to Disney on their birthdays. They
just usually just want to eat.
They want to go out. They want to go to the mall and go out to dinner usually.
Yeah, Andrew's birthday is coming up and on the 4th, and he's got to work, so all he's gonna cost us is dinner.
Yeah, usually he would have. It was just funny because years ago he'd be, yeah, my birthday's coming. I'm taking the day off. I'm going to go do this and this. And now he's an adulting and he's like, yeah, I don't want to take the day off and not get paid for it.
So just dinner that night.
Yeah, just dinner that night. But we'll go someplace good, I'm sure. Probably Rock and Brews or something.
I don't know. We'll see. He's already thinking now he's maybe pizza. Oh. Which pizza's cheap.
Pizza's
so we can do that.
Little Caesars hot and ready. Everybody gets
Yeah, Little Caesars. There we go. I don't think he meant that though.
So but that's all we really did in the last week, I think. Today's Sunday. You guys are here this on Monday, but we're not doing anything today. We just kind of laid low today. Tomorrow we are going over our friends for a barbecue pool day. Hang out over there.
Which will be nice because it's so hot.
It is so
Did
hot.
we mention it's hot here?
It's hot. Hopefully the pool's not boiling.
I don't think it'll be.
I don't want to feel like a lobster when I jump in the water. I'm like getting
Yeah, so that'll be nice.
It will be nice. So on to Disney news. The biggest news that hit in a long time at Disney. Sadly, yesterday on the 25th, we lost Richard M. Sherman of the Sherman Brothers, who were the soundtrack to a lot of Disney.
So much Disney.
So much Disney. They were Walt. There's so much video and photos of Walt with both the Sherman brothers
at the piano.
Yeah. And the amount of work that these guys worked on, the songs they did. To this day, Journey into Imagination, that's still their song. Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, that's their song.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins soundtrack, that's theirs. I mean, there's just so much these men did. I actually told Michelle yesterday I wanted to go home and watch Saving Mr. Banks, just because you get to see.
They're in the movie.
Yeah, they're part of the movie to see them. So, yeah, that was devastating. We actually got done with dinner, and I went on Facebook really quick, and I saw first post somebody saying we're going to miss him. And
I
gosh,
know.
I was devastated.
So sad. And we were talking about that yesterday because there's so few people left that had a direct connection to Walt Disney.
Exactly.
And, you know, it just was really sad because they were so talented and did so much that shaped a lot of our Disney fandoms. I mean, everywhere for years. Yep. So it is a huge loss to the community.
It is. So just really quick, I just wanted to say he was at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Beverly Hills when he passed. It was due to his age-related illness. He was 95.
Yeah.
So nothing like that. It just talks about he was one of the most prolific composer-lyricists in the history of family entertainment and a key member of the Walt Disney's inner circle of creative talents. Richard garnered 9 Academy Award nominations, winning 2 Oscars for his work on the 1964 classic Mary Poppins, won 3 Grammy Awards, and received 24 gold and platinum albums over the course of his 65-year career. His career ran the gamut from the early days of rock and roll with such hits as Year 16 and television, Broadway, and Hollywood. So he had an amazing career, and he was still playing piano recently. I mean, at different events and such like that, they would still bring him to do things that him and his brother had done back in the day.
See, I saw somebody shared him at the piano. I guess they had, for Walt's 100th birthday, they had a special or something they did, and he was playing Feed the Birds on the piano. I couldn't watch it because I would have been a mess.
And that's what they say Walt's favorite song was, and that way.
Yeah, see, I can't. See, I'm getting my nose is burning right now.
And
see, I can't.
And I remember hearing footage that Walt would be like, boys, and they would just play Feed the Birds because when Walt needed to hear it, they knew to play it for him. So this one really hurt us both when we read it yesterday because, as Michelle said, we're getting lower and lower on those people who actually got to work directly with Walt. From Mary Poppins, even, we still have Dick Van Dyke. We still have.
Don't jinx anybody.
No, I'm not trying to say anything like that, but
Bob Gurr.
Bob Gurr is still here.
But all in their 90s.
Yeah, they're all in their 90s.
And that is really sad. And I know that's part of life, but it's a really crappy part of life.
Well, Dick Van Dyke, who I know was in Phoenix convention this weekend, signing autographs.
He's still
98 years old.
He's
still out there doing it.
He works conventions. He doesn't need to work the convention
I think
circuit.
This was one of his first ones he's ever done.
Oh my
actually.
gosh! I mean, you know what though? Good for him.
And it was only $150 for his autograph, and to me,
that's a steal.
That's a steal because Dick Van Dyke's career, not to take anything away from Richard Sherman, but Dick Van Dyke he's been a face for so many years, and people know that name, and they know the face, and they know the comedy and such. And we were actually flipping through Golden Girls today, and he was actually on an episode
He was
of Golden
on
Girls.
an episode of Golden Girls.
Yeah, so, but we really need to, these people who got to actually work directly with Walt, that number keeps getting lower. And it's just so sad. And there's people who actually were around during the time of Walt. There's no doubt about that.
But as far as Walt's inner circle, if you watch all those documentaries and stuff, that he's part of that.
Yes.
But yeah, the Sherman brothers were fantastic and amazing.
They were
okay. So here's a point. I think part of the reason that it hit so hard and it hurt is because these people were the original pioneers of everything that we love today.
Yep.
And I'm trying to put this how I want to put it without it sounding bad or have it make sense. They are what Disney was supposed to be about. Does that make sense?
Yes, that completely makes sense because
Old school, classic Disney, the magic of it all, exactly what Walt's vision was.
that's why I was just going to say it was Walt's vision. Walt directly relayed his vision to these people, and they helped bring that to life.
Right, and it seems as though, and I get it. A lot of people are mad at Disney because of the directions that they've taken the company in the past 6 years. And I'm not real thrilled about it either. But what keeps me going is stuff like this, the classic stuff, the stuff that really tugs at your heart. Right. And I think that a lot of people miss that because it was so special. And now, they just keep flipping out these movies that don't do well at the box office, or they go straight to streaming, and people don't care. No. And it's true. I mean, look at, for example, another sidebar, Wish, that came out at Christmas. No one gives a rat's behind about that. They had to clearance out the merchandise.
Yeah,
it bombed at the box office. Nobody cares.
Right.
But it wasn't for a lack of trying, because Disney marketed the heck out of that.
A month before it was already in the parks. A month before it debuted.
Right.
We had
And
a meet
even
and greet with the main character. You had merchandise popping up.
Merchandise everywhere. And
food.
then for Flower and Garden this year, they have the Wish characters right up front.
Yes, they do.
But nobody cares.
No, it's like people just, it's just not, I think it's because the heart isn't there that it was at one time.
I think that I'm not saying that these movies are crappy, because I know some people really like the newer films.
And that's not what we're saying at all. We're just saying that
overall it didn't do well.
It's like it used to be a Pixar film dropped.
And it went nuts.
Everybody was excited about it. No matter, even if the movie wasn't that great,
people still went.
The box office was insane. And I think streaming has a lot to do with that. People don't want to spend the money now because they know it'll be on their home box.
And the thing is that, do you remember back in the day when they would release a movie and, we go see it in the theater, and then within a couple of months, it would be out on DVD? Months. Now it's weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
sometimes it's still in the theaters when it drops on streaming.
Right. So it doesn't give people the incentive to go to the movies anymore. And I don't know. I'm just an old soul. I always have been. And I really like, I'm not good with change, but I like the way things were.
Right.
And it seems like since, the shutdowns and everything, nothing is how it was. No. And it keeps getting worse. And I really feel like, the movies used to be a great night out.
And it was affordable.
Yes.
It's not affordable anymore to go. That's why I think a lot of people now, you can't take a family of 4 to the movies for the newest run movies without it costing you $100.
Oh, for sure.
At least. Between tickets, a drink, and popcorn. Mm-hmm. For 4 people, it's over $100.
Lord, if you want to buy a box of candy.
No, it's ridiculous. And that's why I think a lot of people are waiting for the streaming, because for what it costs for one person's ticket to go see it in theaters, they can wait a couple weeks. It'll be on streaming. And that monthly subscription to that streaming service costs about what one ticket costs.
Right. And, I just had a moment. We don't watch any movies at home.
Mm-mm.
We don't really do that.
No.
And we used to go to the theater to see stuff, but there hasn't been anything that has been out that we're like, oh, we have to go see that.
That's the Haunted Mansion.
We did see Haunted Mansion in the theater a couple times last summer.
Right.
But we don't.
And then we watched it on streaming once.
We did. So we did watch that. But at Christmas time, Christmas was always the time to go to the movies.
Yep.
And this past year, we were, we thought about it because we used to go
on Christmas Day in Michigan, because we would be done by midday with all our Christmas stuff, and then that would be our evening.
We have nothing to do, and nothing's open except for the movies at night. So we would go to the show. But there wasn't even anything good out this year to go see. And movies are not what they used to be.
No.
I mean, they're not as good as they used to be. Even, here I go. So even
you tell me, here I go. Here you go.
No, but I'm going to bring up something that is near and dear to your heart.
Oh, Marvel.
So Marvel was on a hot streak.
Oh, they couldn't be stopped.
They were go. It was like a train just going up the track.
Yep.
And then they started putting out sucky things, and now it's falling apart because, you see, here's the thing. You put out movies, even if you put out a couple of bombs, people are going to stop paying attention.
Right.
And, even you are the biggest Marvel fan I know, and you have not even kept up with the recent stuff because it's garbage.
It is. I've been watching the series on Disney Plus, but I'm not caught up on all those. I've watched the ones I was most interested in, but the other ones
Right.
that I really didn't care about, I haven't seen. But I do think it's just because when they're just trying to push this stuff out, it feels like they're just doing a cash grab. And
Mhm.
for a lot of these fans, they just want to go see, if you're a Marvel fan, you got to see the new Marvel movie because they are all related. You got to see how that fits into the whole picture of Marvel's
Right, and
universe.
it used to be you had to go see like take Avengers.
Yes.
You have to see that in a theater with the surround sound and
yeah.
the whole thing. Watching at home on streaming doesn't really have the same effect.
Not at all.
And like their most recent was the Marvels, and it bombed
It did not do well at all.
at all.
Not considering what a Marvel movie normally would do, because normally they've all been in the top 10 of all-time greatest box office.
So when I say bombed, I mean bombed as opposed to how it used to be.
Right.
I'm not saying that nobody went.
It didn't hit $1 billion or something.
Right, and the same thing with Wish.
So,
People
yeah,
did go see it.
yeah.
The Pixar movies, those haven't been as good, and it's bad when I don't go. Now, for years, anytime Disney put out a movie, it was a must see for me. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, buts. We're going.
No, I remember when we first started dating, that's how it was. And like when all those movies hit, Rapunzel, when that was there, we were in theaters. Tiana, or Princess and the Frog, we were there. Up, we saw in the theaters.
Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving
we
Mr.
went
Banks,
to.
we saw. Wall-E. Even though you don't like Wall-E. We'll
I
talk
hate
about that in a-
Wall-E.
She hates Wall-E. But that's another one that it was.
Everyone
we went
that
to see
hit,
it. And then every Pixar film that hit, we were in the theaters for all the Pixar films as they hit, and then of course once Marvel started, I never missed a Marvel opening night.
No, we knew, the kids and I knew that if a Marvel movie was opening, we were going that weekend.
We were, and if Michelle and Aidan, because they really didn't care as much about it, me and Andrew would go, because there was plenty of times me and Andrew went and seen the big movie, or we couldn't get tickets. So like when Avengers Endgame came out, when I went to go get tickets, there was only one seat available. It was individual seats. And Michelle's like, go.
Go. Just go.
And I went and I sat in that crowded theater with people I had no idea. And we all cheered and we all cried and we all had a lot of fun together.
I think the last Marvel movie I saw in a theater was the last Spider-Man.
Which was a great movie.
That was a good movie.
That was good. So that one is past Endgame, because Endgame is kind of like where the book closed on that phase, and that's when they kind of fell off. Doctor Strange was good, Spider-Man was good, but
So-
Loki 2 was good.
Yeah. So what do you think if you were, okay, here you go, Atwood.
I like how we were talking about Sherman, and we went.
I know, gosh. And see, you were worried we didn't have enough to talk about.
We got
this
plenty
week.
to talk about.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If it were up to you,
Yes.
if you were the guy in charge,
I was Kevin Feige.
or no.
Oh, not just Marvel.
Not just Marvel. Let's get off Marvel for a second. I know you're so one-track minded. What do you think the answer is, as far as maybe they shouldn't be popping out movie after movie?
I agree with that, and that's what Iger has said, that they've been putting out too many, and I think they weren't putting out too many movies. I think the problem was they started releasing the series on Disney Plus as well as the movies. So back in the day, it used to be you had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, and then you had movies. That was all you had. So as a Marvel fan, you had 3 movies a year, and you had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, and that was really all you had until the next season started or the next movie came out for the next year. But now it seems like every time you turn around, there's a new series popping up on Disney Plus.
And I think that's why we're so far behind, because there's just so much.
It's so hard to catch up. And I'll be honest with you. So all the shows that used to be on the WB and all that back in the day, the CW, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, The Punisher, all those
I don't know any of
series, Luke Cage, I really didn't care about them, because to me, I didn't watch them. I didn't really care about the characters, because they weren't that big of a deal to me back in the day, because they really weren't part of the MCU.
Right. I know you're all about the MCU.
Now they're in the MCU. All these characters have been brought into the MCU, and it's like, well, crap, I have to go back and catch up.
Yeah, you don't need to do all that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm kind of caught up on. I think I got through. I think I'm through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I've
See,
watched
but it's
all that.
almost, okay. Okay. I don't want to talk about Marvel all the time, because it's not an interest to me. But this Marvel is like homework.
It was. If you didn't understand it.
Yeah, it's like I don't need to study before I go to a movie
Now,
or
see,
to watch a series.
but for you, like Loki, I'm surprised you haven't watched it, because you'd
I
like
watched
Loki.
most of the first one, but we watched it in the car. I forget where we
Yeah.
were driving, and I lost interest.
I had to rewatch it outside of the car because I wasn't able to pay attention.
Yeah, and then I love Loki, but I just and another thing, we don't make time to sit and watch a whole series.
No, we don't.
We are so busy all the time, and then when we do have a break to sit, we're just not.
I think that you're still behind on Mandalorian. I don't think you ever watched season 3.
I didn't.
No.
Oh my god!
So-
And I love the baby.
So WandaVision, you loved.
I loved
Every
WandaVision.
week we watched when it dropped. The night it dropped, we watched it. Mandalorian, you didn't want to watch it at first. I made you watch the first episode, and as soon as you saw the Grogu at the very end, you were like, okay, when's the next episode?
Because the baby makes the show.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so he sold it. So season 1, season 2, you got through because you had to see the baby. I got to see the baby.
It's the baby.
It's a baby. But then season 3 started, and I can't remember what was going on, but I think we were just busy with other stuff that we never had time
We don't
to
take
watch
time
together.
for stuff.
I will watch it while you're watching your
My
trash
90 Day
TV,
Fiance.
your trash TV, as you call it. I would watch.
Oh, it's
and
trash TV night.
it
too.
is, and I still do that now. Sometimes when you're watching trash TV, I'll watch whatever I want to watch on my computer.
Yeah, and that's how he catches up. But anyway,
Yeah.
the whole point of all of this was that the Sherman brothers were
All the way
so special to everyone in the
Yes.
community because of the magic that they brought and who they brought it with.
And they were such a great. I wrote an article years ago, and I need to find it, about the greatest songwriting duos of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, to me, they set the world on fire with what they did. And even It's a Small World. That song that gets stuck in your head if you hear it for 12 seconds.
If you ever go and Google like Sherman Brothers songs, I mean, you might be surprised how many
They've done.
they've done for Disney. And it's sad. It just feels like just such a huge loss.
Yes.
And it's
And if I'm not mistaken, It's a Small World is the most played song in the history of music because it's played around the clock all day long, and It's a Small World.
there's not a lot of verses to that though.
No, it's not, but it's become, if you look it up, it's like the most played music song ever. Just like what's the show at the campground?
The water pageant?
No. The show that takes place next to Trails End.
Oh, Hoop-de-Doo?
Hoop-de-Doo Review is the longest running stage show ever because it's been playing since 1971. It took a break during COVID, but it's got the most performances ever. But the Sherman Brothers, what Robert and Richard did, in bringing Walt's visions to music. And they were just so good at it. They could take a song, and you see that in Saving Mr. Banks. You see how they took a song and how they said, you know what, let's make it do this instead of doing that. Which is, and they did things. And to me, they are one of the greatest songwriting duos. I know a lot of people say, oh, what about Lennon and McCartney? What about McCartney? Sorry, I said it wrong.
McCartney is a hockey player.
I remember when I put that article out, I had people yelling at me about, oh, Alan Menken's a great songwriter, and he is. I'm not saying he's not a great songwriter.
That's the Tangled soundtrack.
It is, and Beauty and the Beast and everything else he's done. And I'm not saying the man's not great either, but it's like,
as far as classic Disney, and I think that that's what people miss. I
Yes.
know that when, because I read comments on everything, and one of the biggest gripes that I see from people is that the classic magic of Disney is going further and further in the distance. And I think that by him passing away, it's just another example of how far that people are getting away from the classics and things. I've always been of the mindset, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And I know that, Walt did want everything to evolve.
right.
However, you don't want to leave the heart of everything in the dust for these new movies that nobody cares about.
Yeah, evolving is one thing, but completely changing everything we're going to do this new way doesn't make sense. And what I mean by that is, yes, there are soundtracks to all these new movies that come out, but they're not like they were back in the day. They're not as catchy. Frozen was probably the last big movie that everybody knows. Maybe
Encanto was a big one too.
But everybody knows Let It Go. Everybody knows we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, they just can't let it go.
They just can't let it go. But the Sherman Brothers music just and knowing it was so close to Walt's heart.
Mm-hmm.
To
so
me,
he's definitely going to be missed.
Definitely. So rest in peace. Thank you for everything you did for us.
Absolutely sad.
Yeah, it is.
Boy, we took that topic and
Wow, we
really
went-
circled the
yeah,
block,
we went
didn't we?
It's a hard one to talk about, though. It's very
is.
hard to
It
talk about things like
is.
that because it's like you want to give respect to him, and talk about his accomplishments, but you also want to explain why you feel the way you do strongly towards him, and usually got to use other world examples to be able to make that connection.
I think we did that and then some.
We did some. So next up, the big thing that we were actually at Disney Springs for on Friday, and we went to D-Lux Burger, was the new drone show, Disney Dreams at Soar, debuted.
Yes. Okay. So, if you guys remember, back in like 2018, Disney Springs did a drone show at Christmas time, and it was beautiful Christmas music.
Intel, I believe.
Yeah, it was Intel that did it. 'Cause they had, do you remember they had the little drones like in a box where you could see what they looked like over by the pin trading store.
Yes.
And that was beautiful, and they only did it the one season, and everyone was like, well, why?
Why?
And then if you look at other parks, especially, you know,
Overseas.
Paris or overseas, you know, wherever, they use drones in a lot of things.
Yep.
And we don't here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was exciting to see. And I knew, because I remembered what the Christmas one looked like, I knew how grand of a scale it was going to be.
Right.
And it just was so cool because before the show starts, you hear the propellers of they like, it's almost like a swarm of bees or something.
It is.
How it goes, they just start.
They're coming.
And then all of a sudden it turns into something.
Yeah, so if I recall correctly, the Christmas show I remember was 300 drones. This new show is 800 drones, and they're a little bit larger of a drone. The technology has increased tons in 6 years.
And how quickly, like, it goes from scene to scene.
Yes, it is instant. I mean, it's just amazing how they can move that quick, that the computer can flip the switches to turn the lights and do everything to make it come
and
together.
it looks three-dimensional. Like, so for example, they had the Death Star.
Yes.
It really looked like a globe that was spinning. Or Dumbo.
Yes.
Like, Dumbo almost looks like a light up plush in the air.
And the thing with Dumbo was, so it was supposed to be, so the premise of the story is all characters are things that soar, that are flying, that move in the air.
Which I didn't realize at the time.
No,
but
I didn't
do
realize.
now.
Yeah. But the Dumbo scene, you actually see Dumbo is flying and the clouds are passing.
Yeah.
It's like, and the clouds are moving in the drone show.
Yes.
Which is just, it's absolutely amazing. And like Michelle said, the Death Star looked rounded. And I don't know if it's some drones are back further than some, so that gives the
I have no idea how they do it, but it is so good.
The video really doesn't do it justice.
No, and we knew it wouldn't, because we had seen, like, Disney had released little previews, and then there was the cast member preview.
Yes.
So we had already seen somewhat of what it was all about, but I knew in my heart, I'm like, okay, so seeing the photos and the video is not going to be the same as seeing it, and it really isn't. So I highly recommend getting over to those Springs. But, so, and it's a holiday weekend, so I've even seen online, we went Friday, and it was a madhouse.
Yes.
So you can see best along the west side water.
Yes.
We were by Haleo, which is like dead on, but you could also see people lined up over at the water at Saratoga, which you can also see, but except when it says Dreams at Soar, it's backwards.
It's backwards.
But really it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we were actually, so as many of you probably know, we've worked a lot with Disney Springs over the years. And so as we were coming up there for the show and looking for our spot where we were going to stand, we saw Matt Simon, who is the vice president of the Springs, and he saw us and he pulled us right aside. He goes, "Here's where I want you guys to see it from." And he took us into
he took us into the viewing area, and which I was very thankful for, and we didn't ask him to do it; he just did it.
No, and it's where Disney had their cameras set up.
Yes,
that's what was amazing.
And the local news had theirs all
the
set
broadcast
up.
news. Yes, so we got to stand in there with them, which we were so thankful he did that for us, and that's why. So our video is up on YouTube. You guys can go check that out.
And it's spot on, dead center, no obstructions because of where he put us.
Yeah, it was a great video. The show, though, if you do have the chance, when's it run through? September
2nd.
September 2nd. If you have the opportunity to get down here and see that show, make time to do it because it is well worth the time. It's a just over 10 minutes show.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute show, but give yourself time because now when we went, they didn't let people start lining up till about an hour beforehand.
Right.
But I just saw today pictures from last night's show.
Okay.
And packed.
Again.
Packed.
And I think as the video and footage and pictures get out, people are going to be more intrigued to go see it. Because honestly, I was not excited about going to see it. It's a drone show. And I know that's where a lot of things are going to, a lot of technology.
How dare you?
But I am, after seeing it, I'm like, it is well worth the time to go see it because the show is phenomenal. And I know at IAPA this year they debuted a new drone show and some great stuff that they're going to be doing with drones in different parks and such. So I think this might be the first step for Disney to do more
And
with the drones.
I don't object to that. I think that it's really cool technology and just impressive.
It really is.
It's really impressive, but I do I think that it's going to be crowded there every evening, but maybe stay for the later show. I don't think would be as
maybe during
crowded.
the week too. Because we are on the
Maybe.
weekend, so I'd be curious on a Wednesday night how busy it'll be over there. So.
Yeah, but the Springs was absolutely packed, like we said earlier, because of Cirque, and then there was something at House of Blues, plus the fact that it's a holiday weekend and everybody was in town. So
We should go over there maybe Wednesday or something and just check it out.
just for research purposes.
Yeah, I think we will. I think we're gonna go over there Wednesday. Maybe we'll have to get that gelato shake at D-Lux.
I can't. I'll gain 5 pounds overnight. I am so mad at Deluxe
It doesn't
Burger
weigh
right
a
now.
5-pound shake.
It doesn't
though.
matter. My body just kind of hold on to
You
everything.
sound like Travolta in Pulp Fiction. What's a $5? That's a $5 shake. You want a 5-pound shake? I'll take the 5-pound shake.
No, it's
You know how much lactate you would have to have?
I'm sorry. You know what? It bothers me. So
Okay, but if you go get the shake and you don't eat the fries and you don't eat the onion rings, you're not gonna gain 2 pounds.
okay, this isn't a fun conversation. I'm just hungry now, and I'm hungry and bitter.
So again, go see the show Disney Dreams at Soar at the Springs. It's at 9 and 10:45. Is that correct? Every night unless it's weather, because weather can cancel.
Oh,
the
of
show for
course.
nights.
Yeah, you gotta take into effect that summertime we do get storms. So
Yes. And if you can't get down here, we do have the video on YouTube. So go to the Main Street Mouse's page on YouTube, and the video should be the top video out there. And I know Michelle's put clips out and such like that. And,
I have, and then I did a live feed of the show that I have pinned to the top of our Facebook page as well. So, but yeah, YouTube, Scott's got a better view than I did, and the camera is better.
And I have I got to send it to you, but I do have the portrait version for you to use to
Okay.
Instagram and TikTok and whatever else you want to use that for. So we'll get that out there too. I'm going to split it up into the different scenes.
I was gonna say split it up because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I'll split it up because there's a Star Wars scene, there's a Marvel segment,
Guardians of the Galaxy, which was cool.
The Guardian scene was really cool. Actually.
I knew you would
Really
like
did.
that.
I did. I like that part a lot. You see Baymax up there. He's like you said, Dumbo. Figment makes an appearance. Orangebird is part of the show.
Okay, I like Orangebird.
The
Big
Rocketeer was there.
The what? Oh yeah, the Rocketeer.
So you see a lot of characters you don't see that often that did appear in the show. So you're gonna like it. Really, I was in awe. I was watching it through my camera, and then I'd look up and go, "Oh my gosh," because it's so much bigger than the camera shows it.
Yeah, I want to take the boys back. I just knew Aidan didn't feel good, so he didn't go, and then Andrew had worked all day in the heat. So, but I
it's a little
definitely
less-
want to take them back to see it for sure.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe I don't know if they'll want to go during the week because I know Andrew has to work, but maybe we'll get them one of these days. Hopefully, I think it's going to die down during the week. It might be busier on the weekends, but I think it'll die down during the week. I would
Maybe,
hope so.
and I hope that this is just the beginning. Like
Yes.
maybe if they see how well received it is, then maybe they will do one at Christmas time.
And it'd be great for the Springs to have a show like that nightly.
Oh, for
Because they used to
sure.
have the fireworks with, when it was Pleasure Island. They used to have fireworks every night.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
So it'd be kind of cool if they did have a drone show. I mean, if you already have the drones and you
Why
have the
not?
Imagineering staff that can program them and set it all. I mean, I don't know how many people it takes to run it, but I can't see it being that many. It's got to be a lot more to run a fireworks show than it does to run the drone show.
Yeah, and it's cheaper.
And once it's programmed, it's ready to go. So
I don't know. I was a fan. I liked it.
It was great.
And I really want to go see it again.
It was great. Next thing I want to do is I want to give you guys just a little update that we wanted to remind you that on the 6th of June through the 9th, Michelle and I will be at our special Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point preview.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're going to be sailing on the Disney Magic for a 3-day voyage to go see first group of people to go see the island is the media cruise that we're
It's gonna
going
be
on.
pretty darn cool.
It's going to be really cool. So make sure you guys are watching for our footage on the days. So again, June 6th through the 9th. We're actually going to be on the island on the 7th.
Yes.
So we'll have lots of footage. They've already told us we're going to have lots of content gathering locations, talking with different people who have helped plan this. We're going to spend the day on the island. So be ready to see all that stuff in June there. And then as soon as we get off the ship, actually, we get off the ship on the 9th. Then we got a media event starting at Epcot on the 9th. That night, Communicore Hall is opening.
And then the Encanto show
Encanto
that's
show.
over there.
Are we going to talk about Bruno?
I hope so. I think it's about time we do.
Yeah, let's talk about Bruno. So we will have a media event on the 9th and 10th at Epcot on the 9th, and then Magic Kingdom on the 10th, because we are going to be riding
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yeah, so basically what he's telling you is we have a whole bunch of content coming your way very soon.
Yeah, and I just wanted to put that reminder out there that you guys, please don't forget to watch for our content. Please
and you're
going to
have to go look for it because Facebook and Instagram aren't showing posts anymore. So please make sure you go to the page.
Right.
Maybe set up as on Facebook as favorites or follow or something like that. Because so many people miss what we're putting out.
Right, and that's why I kind of want to give you guys a heads up
Yeah.
weeks in advance. I know it's still 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away, but I want you guys to know. I don't want you to miss it because you didn't see it. So I just want to put the reminders out there for you guys. So please stay tuned for that. Michelle will be posting on Instagram. She'll be posting on Facebook.
You know what? I'm an over poster, so
I'm sure we'll have stuff on Twitter, and you do TikTok as well. And then whatever video I can get.
I'm really bad with TikTok.
I probably won't be able to get the video up on YouTube till we get off the ship, just because the data,
the Wi-Fi and all
in the
that.
ship.
I mean, they're giving us Wi-Fi because it's a media cruise,
Right.
but you know when
it's not that fast.
you just don't know how well it's gonna work.
Right. So we'll do whatever we can. Maybe we'll even do a live feed from the island or from the ship, depending on how our signal is.
I'll try it.
Yeah, we'll try it. That way we can talk to you guys and say hi and tell you what we've seen and what we think of it at that point.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited. So that's it for Disney news that we have this week. We just wanted to mention a few things that are outside of the Disney bubble, of course, here in Central Florida. The other attractions, pop culture, and more that's going on here. So last week we told you guys HHN had announced a couple more houses. So they were up to 3 last week, but now they're up to 6 houses that have been announced.
Yeah, and they're all none of the actual. What's the word?
None of the licensed houses.
The licensed houses has been announced yet. And I've seen people asking on social media, and when Universal answers, they say, more to come in the next, whatever.
Which is weird because there's 10 houses that are going to be used this year. They've already announced 6, and none of them are licensed. So it's really got me curious, is 10 going to be what they do, or is there going to be more? I know they haven't announced the scare zones yet either. So maybe some of that will come in scary. But the new houses they've announced, so let me get those real quick. It's the Museum Deadly Exhibit is one that's coming.
That sounds cool.
It does sound cool. Monstrous, the Monsters of Latin America, which I have no idea what that's going to be
Me either.
entailing. And then the last one they just announced on Friday is Triplets of Terror.
Yeah, people had mixed reviews about that one. They were like, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one's going to be.
There was one about a candy store or something. There's one of those.
Yeah, I don't understand what it's all going to be, but I guess we'll find out. But Halloween Horror Nights runs from August 30th to November 3rd. We will be there at some point. We will purchase tickets if we have to go. But we're hoping that they will invite us, as they did last year, to come out there and enjoy their festivities. I love HHN. Michelle wants to love HHN. She is scared of HHN.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It is. The scare zones are fantastic. A tip I can tell you for those who are afraid, stay on the sidewalk. Don't go in the street if you want to get through the scare zones, because they will not go up on the sidewalk. The scare actors stay in the street. They don't go up on the sidewalk. So if you are a little bit fearful of them, just stay on the sidewalk.
You can stand on the sidewalk and watch everyone else get scared to death, which is kind of cool.
Exactly. And then we pull Michelle into the street and watch.
I hate it when you guys do that. Like, don't pull me in the street.
And then there's always a chainsaw guy that runs up to you.
Okay. Anywhere there's a chainsaw, I'm not partaking because I don't like that. I just don't like the noise. I don't like noises, like loud noises like that. It scares me.
Well, hopefully they don't scare you too bad. At Halloween Horror Nights, you don't want to be scared.
I don't like
at
chainsaws.
Halloween
Now, mind
Horror
you,
Nights.
I know that there's no chain on the chainsaw. That's not the point. I just don't like the noise, and I don't like to be startled. So there's reasons that I've avoided Horror Nights for so many years. But
She went twice last year.
I know.
And Sean's going to want you to go this year. Paul and Michelle want to come back to go this year.
I hope that I'm sure we'll go at least once, but yeah, all I'm going to say is if I can go, anybody can go because I'm the biggest chicken. So.
I don't know, Aidan won't go.
Oh yeah, Aidan. But Aidan won't even give it a try. He's like, nope.
Yeah, he's not even willing.
Nope, he's not even willing to entertain the idea.
He's not stepping foot in that park.
Nope.
We could tell him we'll give you a year pass. You can do all you want. Nope. I don't need to see it.
We'll
I'll
buy
wait.
you whatever you want, whatever food you want. He'd still say no.
Nope. The other thing I want to mention about Universal is they just opened their newest tribute store, which is a tribute store to some of their old attractions.
Mm-hmm.
So inside the tribute store, it's dedicated to Jaws, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, E.T., and Shrek. Because the new Dreamland area did it open or is it getting ready to open?
Previews right now.
Previews. But the tribute store, if you've never been to one of the Universal tribute stores, they're fantastic.
They are the coolest things.
They really are. The decor in them is what makes them so great.
I did put some pictures on our Facebook page if you would like to see them. I can't wait to go check out the tribute store.
I know. I need to see the Back to the Future section.
I know. They have like the clock.
Don't tell me
sorry.
that.
All right. Sorry. See, he doesn't look at my pictures.
So if anybody wants to send GoFundMe, Scott needs money to go to Universal.
Oh my gosh. No, we're not GoFunding anything.
Last thing we wanted to mention is that this coming weekend, Michelle and I are going to be doing a stay at the Caribe Royal near Disney.
Yeah, there's having some sort of like a influencer event for Friday and Saturday. I just RSVP'd because I don't really know exactly all that's going on. But it's at the hotel that's pretty darn close to Disney.
It is.
So watch for footage on Facebook and Instagram for that because I will be posting a ton.
Yes. So we're going to be there all weekend. We've actually been to the Caribe Royal because Spooky Empire has actually held their convention there before.
Yes, they have.
So we'll be there this weekend. We're going to dine there. We're going to check out their pool. We're going to have all kinds of fun. It's supposed to be hot still, so we'll probably be at the pool.
Yeah, they want us to record all the amenities and everything that they have to offer. So that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, so watch for all that on the socials. And the last thing I have is for Michelle's question of the week, which she doesn't get to see these.
I always forget about your question.
So this weekend, Flower and Garden Festival ends. So the last concerts are on Monday. Now, over the years, we've been to many concerts between Flower Power concerts, when it used to be called that. Now it's Garden Rocks concerts, Eat to the Beat concerts. Of all the concerts we've seen, what one was your favorite? What one stands out in your head that was just a really fun time?
Joey Fatone and Friends.
Okay. Which one?
I
think we've seen 3 different years of that.
I think this last year was pretty good. Because Lance Bass showed up.
That's right, Lance did show up.
So, and I'm a huge boy bander, so but I'll also give credit to Night Ranger. Because that was one of the first concerts that we had seen when we moved here.
Yes, it was.
And even the boys liked it.
And they're really good.
And they're just really good and entertaining. They haven't been back, though. They've been playing SeaWorld.
They've been doing SeaWorld. And, yeah, they've been doing SeaWorld. Was there somebody else? I can't remember. I thought there was somebody else that used to do Epcot, and they've left to go to SeaWorld also. So Disney's got a little competition between SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and Universal grabbing some of these talents.
Universal can't be topped. I'm sorry. They use relevant guests.
They get the people who got hits out still news hits, not previous
not
hits.
old stuff. So
it's pretty cool. I know one of the ones I really enjoyed that we saw was I just slipped my head. How did I just lose that? I had thought of somebody who I really enjoyed. Oh, Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah, Sugar Ray was really good.
Sugar Ray. Mark McGrath was just...
He's a good entertainer.
He's
really kind of crazy, but he's a really good entertainer.
And he got into the crowd, and at one point he actually took somebody's baby out of their arms.
He was like a politician kissing babies out there.
He was holding the baby, and he's still singing the entire time while he's holding his baby, dancing around. The mother is just taking picture after picture of her child with Mark McGrath.
What a cool memory for that mom.
It really is. It's a great one. And then another one I remember that we saw that we were kind of laughing about going to see it, but we still went and saw was Hanson.
That was the first year, too, we saw Hanson.
And there was so many people. I didn't think because they only had Bop and I think 2 or 3 other hits.
No, they had more than that.
But those were the big ones. But that crowd was mostly older people who they had the T-shirts on. They were cheering all the songs. I was like, I didn't know Hanson had this big of a following.
Well, it's the same thing. You can be like, look at us, for example, or I'll use myself as an example. I'm not a teenager anymore, but I still love all that music.
No, I know.
So I think a lot of it is the nostalgia of it. Because, okay, here's an example. So how I am with boy bands.
Yeah.
A generation older than me gets all excited about Herman's Hermits. Peter Noon.
That was a good concert.
Okay,
also.
so yeah, people like go nuts for Peter Noon. At the concerts. Now we went the one time, and I mean, I think we were the youngest people sitting there.
We were,
but it
was like being on the Princess Cruise all over again.
Oh my God, Princess Cruise! Yeah, we were the youngest one in there too. But people really get jazzed about that stuff. So
and he was good.
He was good. He's a good entertainer.
He was really good. So yeah, all the concerts are pretty good. I know last night Lit was there, and we walked by and I saw some people with like one guy had a Lit shirt from 2006 on.
See, that's cool. Now I wouldn't have mind seeing them, but with the weather and everything, it just wasn't. It was not a good time
Wasn't
last night.
So I'm hoping that soon we'll have the Eat to the Beat concert series announced, and so we can see who's coming. I'm sure Joey will be back.
I hope
Good
so.
guys.
Those are fun.
Boys to Men is my favorite that I always look forward to seeing every year. So hopefully go see them this year and see who else, because they always bring some new acts every year.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see who it's going to be.
So that is it for this show. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you've had a great weekend. And stay safe and all. And I just want to remind you guys, MEI Mouse Fan Travel, official Disney travel official travel sponsor of the Main Street Mouse. You can click on any of the banners on our website, and you can get a no obligation quote from them. It costs you nothing to use their services. So even if you book with them, it doesn't cost you a penny. They get reimbursed from Disney or.
And they watch for all the good deals. Like if you have a trip booked and like the price drops. They grab it for you.
They grab it for you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to call and sit on hold for 3 hours.
Stress-free vacation planning.
Yes, and Becky and her crew, they're all phenomenal. Everybody over there is a great travel agent, and they will help you guys any way you need, wherever you want to go, wherever you want to travel, by boat, by air, however. They will help you guys with all that. Also, don't forget TMSM Radio's out there. If you're sitting at work and you want to listen to some Disney music, tmsmradio.com and hit play. And you can listen to Disney music all day while you're sitting at work. And we're going to start putting the podcast on there, I think, also.
Oh, we are?
This
is news to me.
I'm going to start uploading it every week to be on there probably at 7 o'clock on Monday nights to let it play out.
Oh, okay.
So not this week, but probably in the next couple of weeks.
We got a lot going on.
So that is it for me. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to let Michelle close us out.
All right. Well, I'm going to repeat what Scott said because, he said it best. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for following everything we do. We just celebrated our 14-year anniversary of the Main Street Mouse, and we are very thankful. I know a lot of you have been with us since the very beginning, and the appreciation is definitely there. And hopefully there will be many more years to come. So on that note, we hope you have a very magical week ahead, and we will see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings. Watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.